Hi, I'm Angel, and today I'm going to show you what it looks like inside of the bee box one day after I've acquired a swarm of bees that had created a colony in a almond tree. I got the majority of the bees inside the box yesterday, but some of them did remain in the tree right above the box. I didn't move the box at all, so today what I'm going to do is try to convince the rest of those bees to join the others in the bee box. And I'd like to go ahead and open it up today. I'm going to add the rest of the frames inside the lower box, which is called a brood box, where they will be creating a comb, building comb there, and filling that with honey. Now, just a little tip, you never really take the honey from that lower box. That is their store for the winter or any time where they can't collect enough pollen on their own. They are able to eat that honey to keep them going. So you never want to take that and deplete their supply. I want to show you what it looks like right now before I do anything. This is how they've managed to cope with the disturbance. So hopefully you can see this. So you can see there's still some bees on there. I want to try to go ahead and get them into the box with the rest of them. And you can see below there's still bees going in and out. So what that tells me is that these bees didn't leave this box yesterday and try to just go back up into the tree. So that's a pretty good sign. It indicates that they're going to stay in this box. So like I said, I want to try to get the rest of those bees to go ahead and come down to this box to make it their home, because either maybe today or tomorrow I'm going to want to come back out in the evening, and I'm going to want to come out in the evening and move this box. But I don't want to do that until most of the bees, if not all of them, have gone into the box. Because I don't want to lose all of the bees that are still up in that tree. So what I'm gonna do is set the camera down, and I'm gonna grab my tools and open this guy up. I'm gonna have to get my smoker going and before I open it up. So if you've watched my previous videos about the swarm that I just acquired from an almond tree right next to my beehive, what had happened was they likely split from my colony because it got too full, and swarm found a new place to live and build a new colony. So what I did was drop that bee colony into another bee box that I have so I can raise them for honey. So I wanted to go ahead and show you what it looks like inside, and how I put the frames in, take their comb out and everything. I wanted to show more of the process, but I only have so much time. So I'm going to give you a view. I already took the top box off, and I took the lid off, so you're going to be able to see right inside where the 4 frames are, and see the process for taking out the comb that had dropped from the tree into the box and putting the frames in. And then I'm going to shake the tree to try to get the rest of the bees who haven't made it into the box yet into it. So I'm going to briefly show you what is left from yesterday up there. So there's still some bees hanging out up there. I want to try to get as many of those as possible into the box today, because in the next day or two, in the evening, I'm going to come out and move this box. It's kind of in the way. Okay, so hopefully you were able to see that. So I'm going to show you inside the box right now. This is the majority of the colony. As you can see, there's a lot of bees in here. And all the lumps in there are the comb that dropped from the tree into this box. So what I'm gonna venture to do is get those, get that honeycomb out, because I don't want them to build off of that. I want them to build on my frames. That might look a little bit scary to you, but you always want to have your smoker going when you're going to reach into a swarm of bees. So I'm going to get this going again real quick. I had it going, but I let it burn out. It's still hot. So I'm just going to add some stuff to it. If I can get it open. Okay, I'm going to set you down real quick. If you're curious about how I'm doing the smoker, I already created a video tutorial on that, so you can check out my channel and look that up if you want to. I would recommend a smoker anytime you're going to go tamper with bees. I'm being especially careful today because I haven't really worked with these bees well at all except for yesterday, so I'm not exactly to the point to where I can guess about their behavior yet. So I'm just gonna be careful. So I'm gonna smoke them inside. They're gonna get real buzzy. Like I said, this will sedate them though, make them less likely to attack me, it makes them a little bit lethargic. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is grab my bee brush, because I don't really want to use my hands to wipe them off the comb. Hopefully I brought that with me. Yes, so bee brush. Alright, so now I'm going to work on getting the comb out. And I'm going to lightly brush them. Now, anytime you're doing something like this, just know that there's risk for getting stung. There's honey in these combs, and it's going to be heavy when I lift it, so I'm going to have to put the phone down, but this is kind of dangerous, so I want you to see what's going on, but at the same time I need to think about my safety, so I'm going to set this down, and you'll have to watch from afar. Okay, here we go. Typically I would recommend to just wear gloves to be safe, but I'm not doing that today. And you just expect that at some point when you're keeping bees that one's gonna sting you at some point. So just don't be too afraid of that. And I'm just gonna go ahead and lay these on this frame for now so I can get it out of the box. Okay, so I need to get my bee tool, the hive tool, because it's very sticky because they're already making honey. If you're curious, this is a hive tool. Very, very, very essential. You just have to be very careful not to agitate them too much. You can imagine that's difficult because I'm taking out their comb. This is their food too, so that might be upsetting. Come on, guys. Patience is key here. Don't rush to do anything with bees. And I'll show you what I pulled out here. This is essentially what I'm doing. This is their comb. You see how many bees are on this? I'm pulling all of these out because I want them to start building this on those frames that I showed you. I don't know if you can see it, but they have larvae also on these, so those are gonna be bees. So I need to be really careful with this. This is full. I need to move this. So I'm just gonna keep doing this process until I'm done. I'm gonna stop the video and then I'll start another when it's all out, so I can show you the next step. Okay, bye. Okay, so I didn't film me putting the frames in because it's pretty dangerous. The bees are not happy. I got stung one time so far dealing with them. I noticed that they have a lot of larvae in their existing combs, so everybody does things differently, but what I did was put their existing comb in between the frames that I put in. I still have one frame out because with their comb in, I just don't have enough space right now. But I'm willing to do that because I don't want them to have to forfeit everything they already have. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and incrementally tighten those frames because you only want them to have a small gap to work with. So I'm gonna just go ahead and lightly do that and then probably just keep the last frame out. Like I said, I don't want to tamper with that too much because this is basically their livelihood, and I don't know where their queen is and I don't want to kill her. So I'll show you what it looks like now, but there's still gonna have to be some changes because some of the comb is sticking up still, and I need to change that because I have to still put the lid on. So this is what it looks like with the frames in, and what I'm gonna do is just, you want to work real slow with them because you don't want to smash more than you have to. I mean, inevitably some end up dying in the process of doing things like this because you're moving things around, and if they don't move fast enough it just happens. But you want to be as careful as possible. You don't want to do that. So what I'm doing is tightening these frames. And once again, I'm going to need 2 hands to do that, but essentially that's what I'm going to do with this whole thing. And then I'm going to have to trim down that comb, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to work from what they already have and start to rebuild their colony without me disturbing it too much more. Like I said, I got stung once in my finger. when I was picking up the really heavy big slabs of comb, I mean, they're kind of cumbersome, hard to manage, so when I grabbed it, there was a bee on the other side, and I spooked it and it stung me in the finger. So like I said, there's always risk for that. Don't be too afraid of it. It's not the worst thing, probably not the worst pain you've ever felt in your life, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that, keep my smoker going, try and get this done as soon as possible to let them go ahead and calm down and everything. So I will give you another update in a little bit, maybe when I try to get the rest of the bees down into the box. But once again, this is what they look like right now. So see, they haven't tried abandoning the box or anything. They're just not too happy right now because they're being disturbed again and their larvae is at risk. And okay, so this is my last attempt to convince the bees to leave the tree and go into the box. If you can hear them buzzing really, really loud, I smoked them. What happens when you use smoke is they think that their home is on fire and they start to eat their honey really quickly. It's a natural instinct, but it makes them really lethargic too. So I was able to shake the tree and get quite a few of the bees to drop into the box, but there's some flying around and they're just kind of hurried right now. So I'm gonna let them calm down for a few minutes, but as you can see, there's some that dropped into the box. They're fanning the front of their box, trying to cool it down. They spread pheromones by doing that as well. So that's what's happening right now. I'm gonna go ahead and keep trying to encourage them into the box. But I just wanted to kind of give you an update and show you what that's looking like. I'll show you the tree right now. You can see the comb is pretty close to being empty now. So what they've been doing up there is they don't want to just leave their combs that were full of honey up there. So they've been eating the honey, likely preparing to join the rest of the colony in the box. So the fact that the bees did not leave the box after I put them in there indicates that the queen is in the box with them. Had the queen remained in the tree the first day that I shook them into the box, they probably would have just returned to the tree, because that's their whole objective, is to ensure that the queen is surviving, she's able to reproduce, and they can keep their colony thriving. So that's what I'm gonna do now. It's close to evening time, so I'm hoping that I get a chance. Well, it is the evening time, but it's not quite dark, and I've disturbed them, so I might have to wait another day to move their box, but that's okay. Like I've said before, you don't really want to rush too much with bees. Really, when you're doing anything with bees, it increases your risk for being stung and, you know, mistakes to be made. So yeah, that's important to remember. Anyways, I will try to give you guys an update soon, but I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting these guys home. So see you later.